The red 2x4 Lego brick might be the most recognizable plastic block ever made. However, Lego is known for its incredibly extensive assortment of unique pieces. In fact, there are more than 13,000 unique Lego pieces in existence, including all the different bricks, plates, slopes, tiles, hinges, and more. Today, I'll be going over the smallest and largest single pieces ever made as part of official Lego sets. So I actually got this idea for this video by browsing Reddit. I came across a post from user udat42 asking if his dewback was the largest single Lego piece ever made. It's a good question. This piece is absolutely massive. It only ever appeared in 2014's Mos Eisley Cantina set, and today this piece is actually quite valuable, worth about $20 US. While it serves as a good starting point, many other users were quick to point out even larger Lego pieces. This got me thinking though, what is the largest Lego piece ever made? However, before taking a look at the big boys, I thought it would be fun to start at the other end. We all know that Lego bricks are small, easy to lose, and prone to be eaten by a vacuum, but just how small can they get? Now, immediately you probably think of the 1x1 open stud. Weighing in at less than 0.1 grams, these specific pieces with the hole on top of the stud were first released in 2009 and have since made their way into nearly 1,300 sets in more than 25 colors. These pieces have proven so versatile and loved that I doubt Lego will ever take them away. Now, although this is the smallest piece in production as of 2023, it's not the smallest Lego piece that's ever been produced. Technically, there are single-piece components that Lego makes that are even smaller. These include minifigure hands and these lever handles. However, these are considered piece elements rather than full standalone Lego pieces, since they're always attached to another piece when you open a new Lego set. But that's not all, because Lego has made even smaller pieces in the past. The screwdriver piece was around from 1995 through 2014 and came in 105 sets. Now, while it's slightly heavier than the open 1x1 stud, it's so incredibly thin that it can easily slip through almost any opening. However, what keeps this out of the official running is that it isn't produced as a single piece. Many minifigure accessories are actually created as a part of a larger element that then gets broken down when you open a new set. This tool wheel shows how many of these come off the factory floor before being broken down into each piece. The same is true of the Lego Harry Potter wands or Ninjago shurikens that you may have received in Lego sets. They are incredibly small, but not necessarily produced individually. Another honorable mention, though, has got to be the incredibly rare 1x1 glass plate. This piece only ever appeared in 2 Lego train sets from 1969 and 1970. These were only a single stud wide and had no studs on top or anti-studs on the bottom, making them much thinner than other 1x1 tiles that Lego produces today. But at last, the smallest piece that Lego has ever produced seems to be the minifigure crown tiara with 3 points. This minuscule piece only ever appeared in 8 sets in 2016 in the Disney Princess line and just barely registers on the scales with a weight of only 0.05 grams. Looking at this piece next to a few other smaller elements just shows off how tiny these small minifigure tiaras were. With such limited usefulness, it's no wonder that Lego stopped producing them after less than 1 year. But of course, what about the other end? Well, it turns out that Lego has made some impressively large pieces in its time as well. Going back to the original Reddit post, it quickly became obvious that Lego has greatly scaled down the size of many of its pieces since the 1980s and 90s. Another user quickly posted this image of the same model dewback in a large red boat hull. This piece is obviously gigantic and measures 52 studs long, 12 studs wide, and weighs in at 277 grams. This piece only ever appeared in 2 sets. The red version shown in the picture popped up in 1991's Fire Rescue set, but in 1987 the same piece in blue was used in the cargo carrier set. Looking at the ship's hull, you may wonder about the 2 colors. That's because these were actually weighted so that the boat wouldn't flip over after it was built from being too top-heavy. Possibly the coolest thing about these was the fact that they could actually float on water. This was pretty common for a lot of Lego boats at the time, but has sadly become rarer as the design of many hulls now has shifted to multiple Lego bricks. But Lego is still making these large floating boats. The deep-sea exploration vessel from 2015 came with this giant blue hull piece. But boats aren't the only sets to get giant pieces. You see, the Expedition balloon set from 1999 came with this amazing plastic blimp piece, which was 44 studs long, 13 studs wide, and 10 studs tall. Technically, this is made up of 2 parts, with the front piece being larger, but the fact was that these were pre-assembled and packaged together in only one single set, and so that's enough to count it as an honorable mention spot on this list. If we're going to count the 2-piece blimp, I need to also mention the 6-piece T-Rex from the Typhoon vs. T-Rex set from the Dino Attack line. It is the single largest creature that LEGO has produced at 199 grams in weight, and even has eyes that light up. But since it's several unique molds, it doesn't really belong here. I just thought it was really cool. Now, any discussion of large LEGO parts has got to eventually come to one of the most beloved and most missed features of old LEGO sets: giant base plates. While today you can find base plates up to 32 by 32 in a range of colors, the 48 by 48 only comes in gray. But base plates used to be a lot more than just a flat sheet of studs. Raised base plates were a common feature of many LEGO sets, from Castle to Pirates to Classic Space, but sadly disappeared in 2012. Over the decades, LEGO released so many of these in all sorts of shapes and sizes. These 32 by 32 raised base plates are both the same mold, but with different colors, and are among the largest that LEGO made. However, the company also produced a few 32 by 48 raised base plates. Okay, so before I get to the actual largest pieces, there's one honorable mention that needs to be talked about. Without a doubt, the largest brick that LEGO has ever produced is the massive 20-inch long 8-stud SpitBrix. While not really compatible with any of the smaller bricks, these blocks do have a unique part ID, which means that they are technically official LEGO bricks, and they do stack on top of each other too, meaning that you could build almost anything you want if you've got enough space for it. Check them out in the description using YouTube's shopping feature if you're interested. Now, getting to the very top of the list, we've got two more absolutely massive LEGO pieces. However, unlike most LEGO pieces that have a wide range of uses and can be easily added into nearly any other build, these are incredibly niche pieces that were only ever applicable to a single set. First up, we've got this absolute beast of a LEGO piece, weighing in at 356 grams and measuring 72 studs long and 47 studs wide. It's the stadium base from set 35 and 69, the Grand Soccer Stadium. This set came out in 2006 with 286 pieces and 14 minifigures. This piece made up the outer wall of the field and served as the base for the scoreboards, seats, and lights. This giant LEGO element was actually incredibly difficult to use for anything else, as it didn't actually have any studs on it. The closest it had was the ability to use Technic pins to create a place for bricks to attach. Take a look at this page from the instructions. 48 Technic pins in one step just to be able to attach anything else to it. Tedious for sure, but I guess it only needs to be done once. After that, you could use this as a plate for a range of other builds. Okay, here we are, the largest single piece that LEGO has ever made. Remember LEGO Galador? It was a short-lived cartoon from 2002 that was a major flop. The show revolved around a boy named Nick Bluetooth as he attempted to save the outer dimension from the evil Gorm. To do this, he had the ability to transform his body parts into those of different aliens or creatures. The show was owned and funded by LEGO and debuted on Fox Kids in the US less than a year before the network went off the air for good. And here is the largest piece that LEGO has ever produced: the Violet Galador module. Weighing 727 grams or 1.6 pounds, this is by far the heaviest individual LEGO piece ever produced. But looking at the picture, it's hard to tell exactly what this is supposed to be. So let's zoom out a bit and check out the set. The Galador TDN module was the ship piloted by Nick across the outer dimension. This piece was the cockpit of the ship and was large enough to hold the figures that also made up this line. But these figures weren't your normal LEGO minifigures. Nick, the evil Gorm, and the others were much, much larger and had interchangeable body parts. Unfortunately, very little of the Galador line was compatible with any other LEGO parts. This, combined with the fact that it was competing with the incredibly popular Bionicle line at the time, meant that Galador was pretty much doomed to fail from the beginning. These pieces might not be considered LEGO bricks, but they're definitely large pieces from LEGO sets. Speaking of which, click this video to see a bunch of funny LEGO piece misprints, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more LEGO videos.